Right, good evening. Thursday evening, it's the, is it the 19th of January? I think it is, 19th, Thursday the 19th of January 2017. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, blob on. One of my regular clients, well I say regular clients, not a regular client, a bunch of regular clients, a band called the Half Eight have been coming to me for about nigh on a year. I do all their guitars, we're an up-and-coming band. They come to me last year after they'd been to a few places around the Mansfield area and they weren't satisfied with any of them. I'm not going to mention any names, but they come to me now, and they're coming to me for a year now. I do both the guitarists' guitars, and I'm going to be doing their bassist bass and blah blah blah. And this is one of the guitars I got in. It's nothing out of the ordinary, nice little acoustic, a Tanglewood acoustic guitar. It's coming, it says young Ollie there, and a bit of fret buzz. So I got the fret rocker on his frets here. I says, yeah, no surprise. I says, you got about 9 frets here, all out, all high. So what I've done is I've got it on the homemade jig I made there. Got it all straight and level, blah, just to prove we've got it all perfectly level. Got it all strapped in, absolutely straight there. Got it all strapped in. And what we're going to do is we're going to run across the lot of the frets with a leveling beam. I bought this piece of steel from eBay a few years ago. It cost me about 20 something quid. It's absolutely milled flat, perfectly flat. And I've got some 400 grit on one side. I've got some 200 grit on one side there, and I've got some 400 grit on the other side here. I'm going to take the main off with the coarse stuff for 200 grit, and I'm going to smooth it all with the 400 grit. Now, like I say, I've been across with a fret rocker. Fret 2's high, fret 4, 5's okay, 3's okay, 1's okay. And oddly, when you get to, you come to 6, 6 is rocking, 8's rocking, 8 is really quite high, 10 is high, 12, you're going to notice pattern here, 13's fine, 11's fine, 12, 14, 16, really high, and 18 again, really high. It's like every even numbered fret on there is a different height to the odd numbers. To me, I texted James yesterday, the other guitarist, and I says, it's very odd, it looks like someone's been able to laugh with this. It's like every even fret is 0.2 of the mil lower than the other frets. So every even fret's higher than the preceding fret, the even one, the odd numbered one. So what I'm going to do is mark them all off. You can't see where you are, but take my word for it. All the high ones are marked in red marker. Blah blah blah, marker pens. You know what they are, seen them before. Marked all the high ones in red. All the way along. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cross with a leveling beam, and I'm going to keep going across, skimming off the tops of these red ones. Once it starts hitting the black, I'm going to stop, because it means they're the same height. And once I've done all that, I'm going to keep taking off the red all the way up and down. Once I've got them all level, I'm going to keep putting more red pen on there till they're all level with the black. I don't want to be taking any of the black off, I want to just be touching the black. Once I'm touching the black, I come to the fine side and I go across and I do the whole lot. I'm not going to push on it, I'm going to let the bar do the work. You notice I knocked the nuts off here, I've took the nuts off. I think you'll find these Tanglewoods were made at the Cork factory in Korea back in the day. The reason I know this, I've had a lot of Cork guitars and I used to sell Tanglewood guitars. I used to have a lot of them, and they come with exactly the same hardware. They've got the same resin made bridges, saddles and nuts. This is like a composite resin they use. Only Cork use that, and they're on Tanglewood guitars. So I'd say this would be a Cork made guitar back in the day, quite an old one. Anyway, that aside, I'm going to go across here with the coarse, with 200 grit, all the way across the fretboard until we've got all the frets level. Once we've got them all level, we go to the smooth side, we smooth them all off, and then it's a matter of just all the ones. The black ones I'm not going to be touching, I'm not taking no material off. But it means the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 9 frets on there need doing. The 9 that are going to be levelled, once I've levelled them, they're going to be flat. I'm going to take a crown out, they're going to be flat. Once they're flattened, I want to put that crown back in. So I'm going to go across with the crowning file. You've seen me all seen me do this before in previous videos. I'm going to go across with my crowning file, and I'm going to re-crown the frets, give them a quick polish, and get strings back on, and that'll be ready for him to pick up tomorrow. So I'm going to blob on with this right now. I'm going to try and keep the camera there, so when I come back, you can see what I've done, where I am. and blah de blah de blah de blah. So I'll be back soon. I've just come back briefly just to show the process, because Ollie didn't know how we do this job, so I'm going to show the process. Just a couple of minutes. It's really easy. Take my levelling beam and I'm just going to go backwards and forwards. I'm going to go all across the fretboard in all areas. And so on and so forth until it's all done. I'll come back to you when I've got it all done, and we'll take it from there. So there you go, that's all done. Got them all nice and level. Some were a little bit stubborn, so I had to go across. I've got a razor file. It's a number 4 file, this is called. It's like a razor file, and it's got one ground edge. And this is a sort of file I would use for rounding off the edges of frets, you know, when I've done a refret, stuff like that. But because I've got some stubborn frets on here, this is a really fine cutter and it's really, really sharp. Because I've got some stubborn ones up this top end here, I just laid it flat and went across this way just to take off most of the material. I've got them all level now. We can stick a beam on there, it'll be perfectly straight across. And now what I've got to do is I've got to go and recrown them. Now to make my recrowning job easier, normally on a guitar with big frets I'd use my specialist crowning file, which is a 3-edged file, and every edge, every corner there has been ground flat, so I can just go across and I can roll it over as I come in and re-crown. I always use this. I like doing it by hand. I always use this if I'm doing big frets, but these frets on here are quite weedy, so what I'm going to go with is, got this tool, it's a Stumac tool I think it is. I bought it off one of my friends from the Hamer fan club, me being a big Hamer fan, that's no secret. And you stick a blade on, and you've got all different ones. And they've got a groove in there, can you see it? Which puts the crown back on the file. I'm going to go with the medium one. That's a fine one. I mean that's a jumbo one. This is a fine thin one. I'm going to go with the medium one. So I'm going to stick medium one on. It's a really simple tool to use. I'm going to basically get it in there, tighten it up, and that now gives me a file and go across with the frets by hand. And I can put the groove back on top of the frets. A couple of skims across there. Once that's done, I'll go across with varying grits of sandpaper and I'll give these frets a polish. I mean these ones won't want doing because these are not been skimmed, but we'll just go over just to make sure it's on all of them. A couple of light passes there. The reason the thing is banging about, the jig, is I've not clamped it down. I normally clamp it down, I ain't clamped it today. So I'm going to get that clamped, I'm going to go across, I'm going to get all these frets done, give them a polish, get strings back on it, and this guitar will be done. It can be done tonight, be done within about an hour and a half I think. I'll get it all done back up and I'll come back tomorrow when I've got it all strung up and we'll have a look at it, shall we? So there you go, I'm back. I've crowned the frets, I polished them. They want another final polish with some super fine, I'll get some, I've got some, still got to do with 1500 grit, 2000 grit paper on there yet. But in between polishes, what I have done is I've oiled the neck. I've got some lemon oil on there. I don't like this fretboard's ever been treated with lemon oil, so it's drank that up beautifully. I'm basically using it to clean, so I'm going to zoom in and see what you can see. Oh, there's the frets, look. There you go, if I just whiz out a little bit. See, the frets have all been done, they've all been recrowned, they're all the same height now. The guitar's going to play, it's going to play like a dream. It's going to play better than it's ever played. All I've got to do now, like I said, I'm going to go across with a couple more grits of fine paper. I'll give a final polish and I'll finish off with a bit of wire wool there, make sure there's still no high frets up there. You can see I didn't get with my 0 dials on here today. Which if I'm doing a precision job, I'd have these dials set in their place on the, let's whiz back, I'd have the dials set in underneath there and we could zero everything out in case we get any movement in there. But this just because all I'm doing is, I've got to keep it relatively level on there, it's not going to move about, the guitar is still level as it was before. the neck's perfectly level, and we've got the frets all straight. There you go. You know, job done. So I didn't bother with it, I didn't need to use that, didn't need to brace it in or lock it into place. Like I say, frets are all done there. I'll get it all polished up, get it all finished, get it all strung up, and I'll come back in the morning and have a little twang on it, a little play. Nice easy job for me today. I've only had 3 guitars to do today. Been quite an easy day. I've got another one, I've got another Les Paul down there which I've had in from Music Scene in Mansfield. That's had a complete setup, a new pickup fitted, and tomorrow it's having a complete rewire. So I'm keeping all the old pots in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rip all the old pots out, take all the wiring out. I'm going to put some good cloth wiring in there. Now, I'm not changing any of the pots, changing any of the capacitors because I haven't been paid for that. But I'm just going to do a complete rewire in that. I'll do a video of that tomorrow. It's a guitar I've never seen before, an AXL guitars. So Les Paul has stripped the paint off the body. It was what looks like it was white, or it might have been a white satin finish. Quite a lot of electrical work on there, good setup, and I'll show you that one tomorrow. And that'll be ready to go back to Music Scene. I told him I'd take it Saturday, but he says there's no rush for it. So I'll get a video of that one today. I've had 3 in today. I've done 2. These 2 are about done. I've had a nice lazy day today. I've got a lot more stuff doing. I've got lots of my own guitars to catch up on, so I need to pull my finger out a little bit. But until I get back tomorrow, sleep well, be good to each other. Talk to you soon. Good morning, good morning. Right, hello. A bit chirpy today, mate. So we're back this morning with Ollie, the guitarist from a band of Half 8, with his Tanglewood acoustic. Came in, got fret buzz everywhere. Discovered it had, oddly, all the even frets, bar fret 6, were high. Isn't that nice, eh? Oddly, all the even frets. So what to do is basically we had to go and skim the tops off these frets using my perfectly flat levelling beam. 200 coarse grit to take off the material. Finished off with 400 once we've got them all level, just smooth them off a bit. Yeah, we levelled them all off, re-crowned them with a crowning file. Got them all flat, got them all repolished. And the job's a good one. Also what I did was I had to knock the nut off so I could do the levelling properly. We did that. I put the nut back on. When I put the nut back on, I've re-slotted the grooves in there, cleaned them up, tidied them up, got a bit of a reprofiling using my old Hosco fret files, which are a great acquisition. Expensive but worth it, so it makes them not expensive. So anyway, here we go. This Tanglewood guitar. It's a model number TW-130 ASM, not one I'm familiar with. It says handcrafted. No shit. Designed in the United Kingdom. Well, I don't say a lot, does it? I mean, a lot of things are designed in the United Kingdom, but still made in China. But anyway, that aside, I know Court Guitars used to make these. Court, a Korean company, have been making guitars for many manufacturers over the years. I'd imagine Dean, Jackson, Epiphone, what have you. And they moved, but recently they moved their production. The last few years, I think they moved it to Indonesia or China, to save some money or whatever. But this would have been made in the Court factory. I can tell that by the hardware, by the kind of resin saddles and nuts they use. So I imagine this is a pretty old one. Lovely looking guitar, lovely grain on there on the rosewood fingerboard. Nice grain on the back and front there. Nice guitar when all said and done. I personally would have had a setup on this. He didn't want a setup, he just says no, just sort the frets out. Tuners look pretty nice. But I would have had a setup because the action here, I've measured it this morning, between the top of the 12th fret and the bottom of the string, it's 3mm. I'd have liked to have been nearer to 2mm here. So I'd have brought that down a bit. By doing that, I'd have took 1.5mm off the bottom of the saddle, and it would have dropped it by about 1mm down there. So the guitar plays fine, sounds alright. Nice sounding guitar actually. So yeah, not a bad guitar. What else have I got to tell you about it? Not a great deal. It's pretty well made. Next, I could do another turn on the truss rod there. just to tighten that out a bit, flatten it out a little bit. I'm going to do that in a minute. Yeah, I would have recommended having a setup on here, but he didn't want to set up, so I've charged him. I've just done him a fret level. I've charged him, I've done him at 1.5 price because it's always nice to have new customers. James, his other guitarist, has been coming to me since, I'd say every year, but it's not every year, it's since he stopped going to, he went to a load of other shops. He come in and he had a bit of a moan about some shops, some local shops to me. Well, I'm in Kirkby and Ashfield, we all know that, so, you know. But he's been bringing his guitars to me since about middle of summer last year, maybe June time. I've had 2 or 3 of his guitars and he's absolutely pleased with work. So his other guitarist, Ollie's coming, and his bassist is coming next week. So I'm glad to be working with that band. I work with a lot of bands, I work with a lot of gigging bands. I'm going to start posting their names, who I work with and who I do guitars for, on my Facebook page shortly. But some bands you might know, Palm Reader, Exhibit A. You've got all the El Benton Priest from Nottingham Way there, Justin Lornas, I do all his guitars. I do quite a lot of people local to Mansfield area. Mansfield, Sheffield, Chesterfield. I've got people come over from Cannock. I've got Brad Thomas comes over from Cannock. I've got Rob Peach who works at Hiscox Cases. I do his guitars. He's coming over this week, bring me another one. Nice lad Rob. I think I'm not sure where he does it. He's pretty high up, more respected in Hiscox Cases. So yeah, I like to work with local gigging bands. I like to work a one-on-one experience. I don't really do a drop-in and while you wait service unless I really know the person that well. It's kind of, I like 24 hours with a guitar because I like to get to know the guitar, and I can give you while you're here, I can give you honest appraisal. This is why I like you to come to me, because I like to give you honest appraisal of the guitar. I'll check the neck for you while you're there, I'll check the frets for you, I'll show you where we need to probably work on the radius. Sometimes I might need to file a few saddles if it's a Les Paul type guitar or a Gibson type guitar with a 2-pneumatic bridge. And I like to do these things while you're here to show you what you need, show you're not going to get ripped off. If you've got any high frets, you can see you've got high frets, and we can determine what kind of setup you're going to need, whether you want a basic one or not one, as this case may be with Ollie. Obviously, even though his band's doing well, he's not quite a millionaire yet, so we'll wait for a setup, you know, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, I like to get people in. I like to show them what sort of level of setup, what we're going to need, whether we need a basic one or an intermediate or an intensive complete one. You know, because it's all about, end of the day, we live in a world where it's all about money in this world, and we're always trying to save a bit of money where we can. So if you can come here, bring a guitar, and I can give it a once over while you're here, I can give you the very cheapest option. You know, and you're going to get a good job done. You're going to get the cheapest option, but you know what, when you leave your guitar with me, you know what you're going to be getting. Check any of my reviews. I've never ripped a person off. I've never done bad work on a guitar. I'm not saying I ain't damaged the guitar I've had in before, because I did actually do that once, and I had to go and pay £170 to get it repaired. I had to send that down to one of my luthier friends down in Leicestershire there, Nigel Roberts from LeicesterShireLuthier.co.uk. He did a bit of body work for me, he did me a good rate. Cost me 170 quid to get it repaired, all for a £60 setup, but that's me. I'm absolutely satisfaction guaranteed. Anyone out there telling lies about me, saying we had to work on guitars, I've messed up, well, let me tell you now, they're lying. That aside, that'll all be sorted out. Go and check my reviews I've had this week again. I've got 41 new likes on my page this week. I've had to do nothing for it, they've just come flying in. And what I've done is I've got a message to people who I've worked for before, and I've said, look, I've had these 3 bad reviews. You know, it's all based on lies. You know, it's based on lies. Will you go and leave me a positive? Go and leave me a review? I didn't tell him to leave me a 5-star review or anything. I just said, go and leave me a review, and then I'll start posting all the videos on the work I've done, because I video every guitar that comes in this workshop. This is why I know them people lying, saying I've messed up guitars, and I said, show me the proof, show me the guitar, and tell me the person who owns the guitar. They've come back with nothing. The reason they come back with nothing is they can't. I'll tell you that straight. So I'm straight as a die, mate. You come to my workshop, you come and meet me, you come and sit down with me 5 minutes, we'll have a cup of coffee, we'll talk about your guitar. I'll take you through exactly what needs doing to your guitar. I'll talk about the options. I'll talk about what you're getting for your money. You know, and we'll go the cheapest route we possibly can. Obviously, I'm going to charge for materials. You bring your own strings, or I charge you for strings. You want anything changing, any materials, any pots, any pans, any cups, any medals? Hang on, I've deteriorated there. I've gone off topic a bit. But anything you need on your guitar, if it needs replacing, I'll do it at cost. and you know, I only use the very best of gear, CTS or Bourne's pots, use orange drop or Mullard capacitors, blah de blah de blah. You know how it works. So you want anything doing, you've tried everyone else and you're not happy with the service, come and see me. I've been doing this donkey's years. All I do is work on guitars. It's my passion. I've been playing guitar 35 years. My band have got 5 albums out. We've toured the world. You know, my passions are absolutely guitars. I'm in a position now where I can't be touring anymore for whatever reason. I don't want to be doing it. I'm in my 50s now. I'm very happy to be working with guitars and putting people's guitars right. And you know, satisfaction guaranteed with me. Bring your guitar to me. I guarantee, absolutely guarantee, you'll be pleased with my work. You'll give me a 5-star rating. So there you go. It's another one done. Another one bites the dust, so to speak. I've got another one to do this afternoon, another one I've got in from Music Scene. I'm really pleased to be working. I don't work for Music Scene, but they've started sending their guitars to me when they want something proper doing on it. I'm really pleased to be associated with Music Scene in Mansfield there. Ollie himself is going to be looking for a new acoustic, so I'm going to send him up there, and I'm going to get James and Adi up there to look after him, make sure he's alright. And you know, it's really good for me because it's good for them to have a good guitar tech working, you know, more or less. It's kind of in-house, not in-house, but you know, and it's good for me to be associated with a shop like that. My associations are all good ones. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep our work up to spec. Let's keep giving satisfaction guaranteed, all at a good rate. You know, you want to check me out, go and check my reviews, check my videos. I'm on YouTube there, I'm on Facebook. And this one's done, it's another one out of the way. Ollie's going to come and collect it this afternoon. So there, until next time, be good to each other. I'll talk to you soon.